Shalom, shalom. Israel. It's tilted to the side. Oh, you know what? All right. Shalom, shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to the highest, Yahweh. In the name of his son, Hamashiach Yahushua. We are the Battle Axes, Capt Benaniyah,
Officer Hispanics.
We're coming today to you with a Tuesday night takeout class. The name of this class is The Lord Always Left a Remenant. The Lord always left a remnant. And what prompted me to do this class is I seen a video on a brother who was supposedly the last slave brought on not the last slave, but one of the last slaves brought on the last slave ship that went to Mobile, Alabama in 1859. And that prompted me to think about this class because if the last brother supposedly that got brought over here in slavery in 1859, we supposedly got freed in 1865. That's 6 years before that. That means that this brother knew who he was before they brought him over here. And everybody that they brought over here before him knew who they were. If you originally got taken from the west coast of Africa, you knew. It's the ones that was born into the slavery that did not know. Right. It was the ones that was born in the captivity that didn't get to be taught who they were. But if you got brought over here in slavery on the slave ship, then you knew who you were. And his brother knew who he was, and he knew who took him and sold him to the white man and everything. And this was 1859, and they got a recording of him, an interview of him in 1930. So that prompted me to do this class because the Lord always left a remnant. Just because we went in slavery didn't mean that everybody did not know who we were. And we got examples of that, like in Virginia, Israel Hill, from freed slaves they started Israel Hill. They knew they were Israelites, man.
Right.
In Savannah, Georgia, you got one of the first black churches in Savannah, Georgia. And in that church, get that, it's called the First African Baptist Church of Savannah. In that church, they have carvings in the pews of ancient and paleo Hebrew. So you would have to know who you are to be able to carve Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? And that was in, what was that? 1773, it was found. But they continued bringing us over here. So everybody who got brought over here originally knew who they were. And they had to separate them. Tell them about the king, the thing you seen about the king.
Oh, well, I don't know his name, but I know that they brought a king over for slavery. And the other slaves, they knew who he was. And they didn't want to tell anybody. But the slave owner, he ended up finding out that he was a prince.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up sending him back to Africa.
Because he was going to be a problem.
Right.
Because they knew who he was. They knew he was their leader. It was better for them to send him back than to keep him there.
Right.
Because it would have sparked interest in the other slaves of knowing who they are. And that's what I'm saying. If the other slaves if some slaves knew who they were, knew who he was, they knew who they were. You know, the Lord has always left a remnant amongst Israel throughout our captivities. And we're going to go to the scriptures and prove that.
And also, that lets you know that since he was a prince in Africa, the slave owners, they didn't want Africans. They wanted the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't need him.
They didn't need him. We need Israelites.
Right.
This is who we trying to suppress. And even above our native brothers, it's just the same thing. It's always been a remnant amongst them that knew who we were. How you think we got the Los Lunar Stone and the artifacts that we got going up through the Midwest
Mhm.
because they knew who they were. So just because the majority of Israel does not know who they are, doesn't mean that we don't know who we are. Because the Lord always kept a remnant, man. And he never done away with his people. He never cast us away. That's what the world wants us to believe. Because the Israelites couldn't keep the laws, didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that the Lord threw us away. But they forgot we had a contract. Yes, we had to take our punishment, but he never cast us away. He just gave us our punishment and allowed us to come back. That's history in the Bible. It happened over and over and over and over. And if it didn't happen, then why did we go into 7 major captivities, 7 minor captivities? So that's at least 14 times that we messed up, but the Most High brought us back. So let's get Jeremiah 17:4 to start this off, because these people will lead you to believe that if you don't know no better, then you got Jehovah's Witnesses talking about, oh, I'm a spiritual Israelite. No, damn it, you're not a spiritual Israelite. It's a nationality, man.
Right.
And they say race ain't in the Bible. We'll go through that. We'll go through that in a minute. Race is in the Bible, and to prove that it's your nationality. They don't want us to accept. They can accept their nationality. They want you to accept their nationality. Oh, I'm American. Oh, they accept their garbage. That's made up. But being an Israelite is what the Most High God gave us. We didn't make this up. The Most High God gave it to us. The same way they Edomites. They don't want to go by that. They want to go as Americans. Read that for me out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Mm-hmm.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger.
What did we do up?
Kindled a fire in mine anger,
Uh-huh.
which shall burn forever.
Which shall what?
Burn forever.
So we kindle the fire in the Most High God's anger. Give me Deuteronomy 28:15. Let's see how we kindled that fire in the Most High God's anger to where we got cast away or sent into slavery in the first place. Because we made a covenant with the Most High God. We accepted the blessings and we accepted the curses that go along with that. So he took away our heritage for a reason. And let's get that. Read that out.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
No, some of them.
All his commandments
Mm-hmm.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
What day?
This day.
Mm-hmm.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
No, they think a curse is a light thing. They don't take that seriously. What is going to do to us?
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
To come upon thee and overtake thee. Now give me Deuteronomy 28:68 out. Because we got to have an understanding of why we forgot who we were in the first place. We kindled the fire in the Most High God's anger by not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That was our part of the deal, to keep the commandments. And when we did not, then we had to get the curses. And he said they were going to overcome us and overtake us. So when we go into slavery, and especially this last slavery that we've been in, they proceeded to making us forget who we were.
Right.
That's what their goal was. But they could not make everybody forget. Because like we just talked about, in 1859, the last brother that was alive spoke about it in 1930. He didn't forget because he was only in slavery for 6 years. So, but if you was in their hands much longer than that, you and your generations was going to forget because we was in slavery for a couple hundred years. But if people proceeded to, they kept bringing people, that person knew who they were. They probably tried to tell somebody else. But you had people that were so gone. Like I watched other interviews of slaves, former slaves. They did not know nothing, man. So if you came and you was born in slavery, they made sure you did not know anything because they wouldn't let you read or write. And it's exactly what they were saying. We didn't know nothing. They had us sleeping on the floor like animals, like beasts. Right. They did not know nothing. So if you didn't know nothing, how could you know who you are? But the ones that they kept bringing in, let's read this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
He said he's going to bring you into slavery again with ships. Read on.
By the whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Well, I'm telling you this, you ain't going to see your homeland again. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
We were going to be sold to our enemies for slave men and slave women, and nobody wasn't going to be able to redeem us out of this condition, man. Slave men and slave women. Once that happened, you still knowing who you are, but you have children. Or they done sold the man. If you was married, they sold her over here. They sold you over here. And then, if you had children, they separated them children so that them children would not be with their parents, so that their parents could teach them who they were.
Right.
That's how they worked it. That is a curse, man. The Jeremiah 17:4, Deuteronomy 28:68 is curses because we broke the commandments. So you can see how this thing can happen. You can see why it happened. The Lord said it was going to happen. He has to make it come to fruition through the vessels that's here on this earth. And this is how they went about doing it, to make us forget our heritage, putting us in slavery, separating our families, not letting us read and write, not letting us wear none of our clothes, not even letting us eat our dietary laws, eating our dietary customs. They knew exactly what they was doing because that's the way the Most High had set it up. We agreed to this stuff. But he always left a remnant. That's what our people got to understand. So the fact that we know we Israelites right now is not a coincidence because he always left a remnant. Right. Give me Jeremiah 51:5 out. Jeremiah 51:5.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 5. For Israel hath not been forsaken.
What did the Bible say?
For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God.
Come on, man.
Of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel.
Man, though our land was filled with sin against the Holy One, we still wasn't forsaken. The sin that we did is the reason why we went into captivity. He telling you, even though we sinned against him in our land, he still didn't forsake us, man. He still didn't forsake us. So how is these people running around here saying that Israel is no more? He did not forsake us.
Right.
What the hell is they talking about? Read on up.
Verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
He telling us right now, flee out of the midst of Babylon. We in Babylon to save our soul from this place, man. Because the Lord know that we in captivity.
Right.
He know, like, why would he forsake us if he was punishing us? He didn't punish us. He could have just done away with us.
Right.
Why punish us and then forsake us? That ain't what he did. But that's what they want you to believe. That's what the Christian church wants you to believe, that the Lord done away with the Israelites, man. That ain't happening. So he done away with Israelites, but he kept Jews? Who is he people playing with? So the Israelites is done away with, but the Jews is not. Why isn't the Jehovah's Witness telling them fake Jews that we're spiritual Israelites? Or we're spiritual Jews? Why they ain't doing that?
Right.
How did Jew become a nationality? Well, I got so many questions for you people. When did Jew become a nationality? Because I don't never recall seeing that, but they tend to make it a nationality. But Israel isn't a nationality, being an Israelite. And we got a whole book dedicated to being an Israelite. Talking about the nation of Israel, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. But that's not a nationality. But Jew is, and it's only here a couple times. They need to stop playing with us, man. We are taking our book back. You know what I'm going to name Tuesdays? I'm going to rename Tuesdays to Take Back Tuesdays. Because we taking our book back, man. I'm tired of you people lying. Lying about us, lying about our book, lying about our God. This Take Back Tuesdays, man. We taking our book back. We tired of the garbage. So the Lord ain't forsaking Israel, Judah, the nation of Israel. He just wants us to get back in order with him. That's what he wants. He wants to get back in order. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 3.
23 and 3.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their foes, and they shall be fruitful and increase.
Did the Lord say he was going to gather us? He was going to gather the remnant of his flock out of all countries? Oh, does that mean he ain't through with us?
Right.
Because remember, we went into slavery. Matter of fact, go to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. We going, because I'm going to reiterate on this, but I need to bring that curse out. Right. Why is he going to bring us out of all countries? Because that's a curse. That's a curse that he said he was going to do to us. 64.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So the Lord, that was one of the curses, that he was going to scatter us amongst all people. So that'll make sense in Jeremiah 23 and 3, where he say, I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries where I have driven. See, people got to understand. The reason why he's saying remnant, because it's only going to be a remnant that continue to serve him. It's only going to be a remnant that continue to do the Lord's will. And a vast majority of our people, we can say 2/3, is not going to do it. So, let me find this one precept right quick. Because some of our people is looking for everybody to be saved. Like, even in the world, God gonna save everybody. What for? What? I just don't get it. What for? What's the purpose of saving everybody? They can't even do right now. So everybody gonna get saved and then they gonna do right? No, it's not gonna happen. It's not happening, man.
And that's what they learn from other customs, that they're going to save everybody.
God's going to save everyone. And I'm like, why? Why do that? Y'all don't love the Most High God. They don't love him. They don't want to do nothing that he said to do. They want to go against what God say to do. Well, I'm trying to find this precept. Where's right quick? I'm going to find it though. Let's go to, let's see, Leviticus 26 and 25.
26. This book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 44. And yet for all that when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God.
See, this is what you got to understand. Even though we broke the covenant, the Most High God ain't like that. The Most High God ain't going to break his part of the deal. That's us.
Right.
That's us got to want to do this. That's us continually that was doing that. That wasn't the Most High God. He's not a man that he should lie. So he going to uphold his end of the bargain. That's us that want to keep going against our God, man. So he say, and yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, bruh, who is in the land of their enemies, man? This stuff is so evident, it don't make no sense.
Right.
Who is in the land of their enemies? I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, meaning I won't hate them, to destroy them utterly. So where is these people getting off like Israel is not here? Y'all know the 10 tribes are lost. And y'all know the other 2.5 tribes, 3 tribes went into Africa. They know that. That's why they only talk about the 10 lost tribes. No, they ain't lost. Y'all went and found them. And said y'all discovered something. We discovered the Americas. You can't discover something that ain't lost, man.
And at the end it says, for I am the Lord their God.
And matter of fact, we finna keep reading. Now, he said, I will, neither will I abhor them, meaning I won't hate them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord, their God. Read on up.
Verse 45. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord.
Come on, man. He remembering the covenant for the sake of our ancestors. For the sake, this man, give me Numbers 23 and 19 now. They don't know about our God. See, you the naysayers and the faithfulless, the non-believers, don't understand this. We got the one true living God on our side, man. But they God is the white man. He the one lie to you. Our God ain't lied about nothing. Did he lie about putting our asses in captivity for going against him? No, he did not. And did he lie about putting us above all nations on the face of the earth if we did what he told him to do? He did not. We the ones tripping, man. That's like saying a good parent, your good father that's disciplining your butt is tripping, but you the one out of control. Man, you tripping. Nah, your ass is tripping.
Right.
That's what the problem is, man. You got badass kids trying to dictate the situation. Esau is a badass child. Matter of fact, he's a bastard. And he's trying to dictate how stuff should go. Just like him telling us that we shouldn't whoop our children. When our God said otherwise, why would he tell us that, man? So our children can be out of control like he is. Read that up.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. hath he said, and shall he not do it?
Come on, man.
Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
The Most High God is not a man that he should lie. Everything that he said he was going to do, he going to do. He said he going to live up to the bargain, the covenant that he made with our ancestors. He doing that thing, man. That's why it's a remnant of us right now that's awoken to who we are. Because he said he going to do. Our people, the people that don't understand the Lord, man, you need to get in this Bible. This is the word of God. This is how he communicates with us. Everything that we need to know, he tells us right here. The Most High God is not a man that he should lie. So if he say he did not cast away his people or do away his people, that's word is bond. But you got people saying that the Lord cast away his people. Nah, man, you got wicked people who saying that, who don't want God's people to be God's people. Right? Give me Romans chapter 11, verse 1. Let's get some more. Chapter 11, verse 1. And to everybody tuning in and listening, the name of this class is, excuse me, the Lord has always kept a remnant. Hold on. We're back. But yeah, the Lord has always kept a remnant. He has not cast away the Israelites, man. Let's get this Romans chapter 11 and verse 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, has God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
This is Brother Paul speaking. And he repeating what Leviticus said. Leviticus 26 and 44. Has God cast away his people? God forbid. Because even at that time, when Paul was walking, right after Christ, they still knew they was Israelites. This was right before 70 AD. They still knew they was Israelites, man. He said, God forbid. Then he read off, I am an Israelite. That's his nationality. Of the seed of Abraham, his forefather. Of the tribe of Benjamin, his tribe, man. Read on.
Verse 2. God hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. Woe he not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
So Elias said that, Lord, they done tore down the altars. They done dug down the altars, and I'm left alone. Because this is Elisha. It's at the time. Elisha saying, I'm the only one left. The last of the Mohicans. He said, Lord, what I supposed to do? What I supposed to do? Read on.
Verse 4. But what said the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men.
What do you do?
I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Verse 5. Even so then, at the present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
See, right there. He telling you, man, even in the time of Elisha, he told, I left a remnant. Right now, he said, even at this present time, also there's a remnant according to the election of grace. The election of grace, that's the key. That's what if the Most High want to give grace to his elect, he gonna do it, man. He telling you right there, even at this present time, also is there is a remnant according to the election of grace. You can't outthink the Most High God, man.
Right.
You can't outthink the Most High God. And that's what a lot of people try to do. How about let's heed to his words? And let's get where Brother Paul got that from. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 10. 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 10. While he getting that, I'm going to read this right quick. You write it down. Romans 9 and 27. He say, Esaias, this is Isaiah, also cried concerning Israel. Though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. That's like right now. Though we number as the sand of the sea, only a remnant of Israel is going to be saved. A remnant. 1/3. This is a theme throughout the whole Bible. Just like even when the Lord brought us out of Egypt, all those people went down for the Most High. That's why when Moses went up on the mountain, they started making a golden calf.
Right.
That show you their mind was not there. Just because you're Israel does not mean you're Israel, man. You have to do for the Most High. And those people wasn't doing. And then when those people that was not wanting to keep the commandments, those ones that came out of Egypt with that Egypt state of mind, they didn't make it into the promised land. So that means everybody that got taken out of Egypt did not make it into the promised land, including Moses. Because those are ones that didn't want to hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Then that generation with Joshua, they hearkened and they made it into the promised land. They made it into the promised land. They kept those commandments. But it ain't taking nothing but 2 generations for them to stop. Because Caleb died, Joshua died, Caleb died. Then they went right back to doing whatever they was doing. Now you right back in their part that's not going to make it. That's how it worked. But within all of that, it still was a remnant. So always a majority of Israel never did what the Most High told us to do. A majority never completely done it. So we can get that notion out of our head that all of Israel going to be saved, or we can save everybody, or everybody got to be saved. No, only a remnant, because it's always been a remnant. So how the whole world going to be saved if the Lord only saving a remnant of his own people? It's a many are called, but few are chosen.
Right.
Let's get Kings chapter 19 and verse 10.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 19, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord God of hosts, for the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword.
Mm-hmm.
And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away.
Now jump over to verse 18, because that's where he got, Paul got that in Romans chapter 11 and was it verse 3?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next verse comes from verse 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
1 Kings chapter 19, verse 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which hath not kissed him. Verse 19. So he departed thence and found
on that.
Okay.
But this is what he was quoting. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel. The Most High can do what he want to do, man. Brothers and sisters need to be glad that you're one of those. What Captain Jerubbaal say is one of those.
One of those.
We one of those. We should be glad we one of those. Because the Lord choose who he want to be in his remnant. The Lord choose who is his elect. So the common theme throughout this, the Most High gonna keep a remnant, man, because we're his people. We the ones he chose to represent him. So why would he do? All right, if the Lord done away with Israel, who gonna represent him? He chose us to represent him. And then if he do away with us, who gonna represent him? And that's why it don't make no sense. and then, if the Lord done away with Israel, then what's the purpose of Revelations chapter 7?
Revelations.
It just popped in my head.
Okay.
Matter of fact, before we go there, let's go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5 first. Let's get Christ. Because I'm
verse 5.
Yes, sir. Because we trying to make some sense of how these people thinking, and it don't make no sense. Israel done away with. Then why Christ come save us then? Why Christ die on the cross for the forgiveness of our sins? And why is he going to return to save us then if Israel done away with? Read that up.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5.
Sorry, 6.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
No, where out?
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
And do what?
Verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
So, unless the kingdom of heaven had already came, then what's the purpose? What's the purpose? What's the purpose of worrying about the seed of Israel if it was going to stop? What's the purpose? Matter of fact, give me Matthew 15 and 24. And I just had this one that I need to bring out because it'll answer my own question. Don't worry, Christians. We'll answer the questions through the Bible. We just ask them the questions, but we're gonna answer it through the Bible. Read that out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Man, hold up. Did Christ say that?
Can I read it again?
Yes, sir.
Matthew 15 and 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So how is Christ coming for everybody? He is not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Right. Because my Bible say Christ only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what my Bible say. That's what your Bible say. Mm-hmm. That's my Bible. Brother, that's what your Bible say. That's what I say. Christ only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Not the whole world, man. And we can break that down. You can run to John 3:16. That's cool. So we go to Isaiah 45 and 17 and just go and break you off something and a few more scriptures. But Christ only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the ones that did not know who they are. So that means that Israel never stopped existing. And matter of fact, if Israel stopped existing, then that means that Christ's nationality ended. Because it's Christ's nationality too. The Jesus that they swear they love, y'all want to end his nationality.
Right.
But let's see what the Bible says. Go to Jeremiah 31 and 35. Let's see what our God say about that, man. Because I don't believe these people. I don't believe their report. Let's see what the Bible say.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. Shalom. The Lord of hosts is his name.
Read on.
Verse 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Thank you, Most High. Thank you, Most High Yahweh, for explaining to our people that he has not done away with us. He said, unless the ordinances depart, meaning because the sun and the moon and the stars got laws too. So unless them laws for the ordinance for the sun, the moon, and the stars depart, then the seed of Israel will depart. So what is these people talking about? Matter of fact, sorry, Lord, let me quote it right. He said, if those ordinances depart from before him, saith the Lord, the one who made them, if they just some kind of way just depart. He didn't say if I ended it. He said if they depart from him, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation. Israelites is a nationality, man. Being an Israelite is a nationality. You can't do away with a nationality. Esau, you can't do away with your nationality, man. No matter how much you try to cover it up and hide up under other people's cultures and culture vulture and act like you ain't the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, you cannot run away from your nationality that the Lord gave you. See, the thing is, the Lord stripped us of ours for a minute, but Esau trying to hide from his. His going to be in the forefront just as much as ours. When ours came back to fruition, his did too. You can't get away from it. You see how that works? Esau ain't start getting talked about till the Israelites start getting talked about. Because that's our counterpart. You can't get away from it. Serpent, dragon, demon, devil. You can't get away from it, man.
Red man.
Red man. They know. I'm glad they finally came to their senses and realized that was complete foolishness. The Washington Redskins, and they got a black Indian on there, black native. I'm glad they caught their senses. The damn brother on the damn thing was darker than me, but they're the Redskins.
But you see how they gave the natives the red man. They called them the red man.
Yes, yeah.
And they brown.
So but they white.
Right.
Get the hell out of here, man. Y'all white. Y'all white, but we clearly see your skin, your blood showing through your skin, man. Slap one of them in the face and watch what happens. I ain't condoning violence, but slap one in the face and watch what happens. There's going to be a red hand mark on his face. Because they the red man.
You don't even have to slap. You can just...
Matter of fact, just look at him hard. Just look at you. Ain't got to touch it. Just look at him. They just going to start turning red. Because they the red man.
Yep.
Because just like when it's described in Genesis 25, the way it was red all over like a hairy garment. Because that baby came out crying.
Right.
In distress, which made his blood come through his skin. You can look up any damn pregnancy, birth of an Edomite child, they're going to come out red.
Right.
So, simple. But these people play on the minds of simple people. It don't take much. They know it don't take much. They know it don't take much, man. People are liable to fall for anything, man. They know it don't take much. So the Most High, we can end this class right now if we want to. Because the Most High said, lest these ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord. Huh?
Read 37.
Read 37 for the brother.
Jeremiah.
We getting there, god dang me.
Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
For the brother.
for the brother. But we gonna read it anyway. Bring it out.
Thus,
Here you go.
Yep, here you go. Thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said the Lord.
Come on, man. So unless one of us can go search, measure heaven, and search out the foundation of the earth, then the Lord will do away with us. But he already know we can't measure the heavens. He got a sense of humor. But he know, this is what the Lord know. Esau would try to do it. Just so he can do it, just so the Lord can do away with us. Them damn devils will go try. That's what they trying to do. They trying to go to the bottoms of the ocean and to the heights of the sky so they can try to get these measurements. That's why they say it's 37 trillion planets out there. We went to the bottom of the sea. No, you did not go to the bottom of the sea.
You ain't gonna make it.
You ain't gonna make it. But the Lord know this, but they want to try it anyway. Because they think they gonna get the measurements and then say, Lord, see, we got it. So he can do away with us. They think they slick, but it's not gonna happen, man. The Lord was being funny. If heaven above can be measured, how can it be measured?
They say 37 light years away, and
man, oh, you can't go 1 light year away. How the hell you measuring 37 light years away, man? These people is something else, man. They get in their little submarines, go as far to the bottom as they can go, and still never touch the bottom.
make it.
You still never touch the bottom, and you just go with your little video camera and take little samples and stuff.
But when they go down further they can go, they still have a whole dark area that they can't even get to.
Because they know you go in there if you want to, Esau. Some lava, that damn well that swallow Jonah gonna swallow your ass up. Keep going, Esau. Because the Lord's so cold. This is how cold the Lord is. He put water within water.
Right.
He put a sea within a sea.
Right.
So even when you went into this water, it's other waters.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't finna go in. You ain't, no matter how much little contraptions they think they can build, man, they ain't got enough. They ain't got enough. But they think they doing something, man, and the Most High laughing at them. These guys are funny. We wouldn't dare. I wouldn't know nothing in the ocean because I'm not going in the bottom of it. That's why you got Esau. Go show us, get us some video. Show us what it looked like. What you got?
No, so let me read it again.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 37. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 37. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out
right
beneath,
there, the heavens of above, if it could be measured, what you think they up in that space station trying to do? First, they try to see if when Yahushua coming, and then they look to see. We can see some. His planets over here. His planets over here, and we see another sun over there. Like you said, it's 37 light years away, and then they still don't got enough. How can you see? These people funny, man. So your little telescope is 360 degrees around the Earth for infinity. And you telling me that you collected enough data in one little section to come back and tell us something?
And then they say they see a planet and there's a way far, but they know what's going on there.
Yeah. Or we're going to Mars. We believe there's water on Mars. Then you ain't leaving this place. These people nuts. If they leaving this place, why y'all ain't left yet? Because I'm telling you, don't get it twisted by Esau. The same way they said they discovered America and everybody came. If they actually went to the moon Everybody will be up there. I just seen a lie China put up talking about they supposed to have a flag that they planted up there. All right, China, when the hell you went to the moon to plant a flag? Because the whole world missed that. I guess the white man did it. That was enough for everybody. Now, 50, 60, 70 years later, China talking about they went up there and placed a flag. Boy, these are some liars, man. And they international liars together. Because now Saudi Arabia and India supposed to have been sent something to Mars. Y'all ain't even on the moon. Quit lying. Because I'm telling you, and y'all know like I know, that if Esau went to the moon one time in the 60s, it's 2020 now. We will be living on the moon. Point blank period. It will be a colony on the moon. That's how they rock. And it wouldn't just be them. They'd be up there fighting for who got control of the moon or who got this section. Just like they did when they came to the Americas, man. That's your example right there of how they move. They in this thing together. But when it comes to divvying up the goods, it might be a little squabble. They ain't divvying up no goods up there. Because their ass ain't been there. It ain't nothing there for them. So now we move on to Mars. Man, these people need to stop. You think the Lord finna let these damn parasites go somewhere else and they over here messing the earth up? You killing everything on the planet, including the Israelites, but yet you gonna go to another planet. The Lord ain't gonna allow that. We are terrestrial beings, like the scriptures say, not celestial. We weren't made to go into another place like that. We're made to be right here on earth. You looking for water somewhere else, it's water right here. Why is you looking for water somewhere else? It's water right here. He made the earth for man. He didn't make Mars for man. He didn't make Pluto for man. He didn't make the moon for man. So all these lies these people pushing there, I'm telling you, that's just to keep the hope of the Edomites up. Because anybody who watched Star Trek or Star Wars, they do these type of things to keep their ambitions up. Because just imagine if somebody told them, we ain't tripping, because I ain't trying to go nowhere. But if they told them, you would never leave this planet. You can't, and they know it's fact, right? Your fantasies really would be fantasies. Because right now they still got the hope that they can actually do this stuff. They sending rockets up in the sky. They sending firecrackers in the sky. Advanced firecrackers is what I call it. You're going up. Okay, you shot something up in there. Okay. Good job. You shot something in there. That's how you're doing. Shooting firecrackers in there. Because you ain't finna do nothing there. So if they actually found out that they wasn't never gonna be able to go nowhere, it's over. You can't push these movies because everybody gonna be like, If the Lord really told, you will never leave this planet. Then making those movies is for nothing. Making those shows is for nothing. Because they really think that they're gonna be able to do this stuff. Just like some of the stuff they had on Star Wars, Star Trek. Yeah, they get the little calm. Yeah, we got phones and stuff like that. We got that. We got laptops and stuff like that. Yeah. But as far as going, the only other entities we gonna be seeing is when Yahweh come back.
That's right.
With the 144 in them chariots. That's the only thing they need to see. That's all they need to worry about. Let's go to Sirach, chapter 47 and 22. 47 and 22.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 47, verse 22. But the Lord will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish. neither will he abolish the posterity of his elect.
Read that part again.
He shall I?
Read it from the top.
Okay. Let me start over again. But the Lord will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish, neither will he abolish the prosperity of his elect, and the seed of him that loveth him he will not take away.
The seed of him that loveth him. That's the key thing. That is the key thing. It ain't just about being Israel. It's about showing the Most High God that love. And love is keeping of his commandments. Read on.
Wherefore he gave a remnant unto Jacob.
He gave a what?
A remnant unto Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And out of him a root unto David.
So he gave a remnant unto Jacob. The remnant that the Most High God is going to deal with is the ones that love him, man. The ones that truly love the Most High, that's serving him. It's elect. So it's not hard to really understand that the Most High has select people that he's going to be dealing with throughout our generation. Because it's going to be the ones that show the Most High that they love him back. It's simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's not algebra. It's simple. Show the Most High God that you love him, and he'll show you that he loves him back. And for our listeners that don't know what love is, let's get love for them, huh? According to the Bible. How do you love the Lord according to the Bible? First John.
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
Mm-hmm.
And his commandments are not grievous.
If we keep the Most High God's commandments, which they are not hard. Dietary laws, ceremonial laws, high holy days, loving one another, Sabbaths, 10 commandments. They're not hard, man. It's not hard at all. If we just do those things, we show the Most High. Matter of fact, read verse 2.
Verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
So showing our people that we love them. That's how we know that we love the children when we love God. That's how we know we love God when we love his children, man. That's just how it works. That's how you build a nation. That's how you have a strong nation. It's built on love. But that love that the ours is built on keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. It's simple. We just do that, we don't have to worry about none of this garbage that's going on. So we always say, we got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. So we got to bring those things out, man. So a law, a commandment, ordinance that I want to bring out, Deuteronomy 4:29. Because if we going through these trials and tribulations, Most High God showed us how to come up out of that thing, man. He showed us how to be protected by him. And we love him. Because he ain't never forsaken the righteous. He ain't never forsaken the ones that love him. That's how you know it's always been a remedy. Just because we went into slavery and we forgot who we are, don't mean that we don't love the Most High God. It just means that we lost the knowledge that we had to show him that we love him. That's what they took away from us, our knowledge of showing that we love the Most High God. So we got that back. Therefore, we lead our people in doing such, showing them how to love the Most High God. Read this out.
4:29.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 29. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Oh, right there. Hallelujah. Because you know what? I was just talking to somebody today. This scripture rang bells because he said, but if from thence, from right here where I'm telling you, thou shalt seek the Lord thy God. That's what I did. And talking to other brothers and sisters, that's what they did too. We have to seek the Most High God. And see, that's the difference between us and brothers and sisters that's not doing this. They're not seeking the Most High God. They just accepting what the Christian church is telling them. We're actually seeking the Most High God. Before we came into this, we had to be seeking him because we knew something wasn't right.
Right.
We knew that what we had been taught, a white Jesus and Sunday church and the pastor up here with this hooping and hollering, was not right. So we went searching for him. But he said, if we search for him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. And I remember doing that, man, and still seeking him right now. I remember doing that. I remember it vividly because I knew everything was garbage. Lord, you got to show me. Read on, huh?
Verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days,
Even when?
in the latter days,
We in the latter days. Read.
if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shall be obedient unto his voice.
That's the key thing right there, man. You gonna say you love the Lord? Or you gonna be obedient to his voice? This is the voice of the Most High God. He told us, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all these commandments and statutes which I command thee this day. This is the voice of the Lord thy God. If we hearken unto this, we'll be all right. But he said if we didn't, then those curses gonna fall upon us. That's how we end up going through tribulation. So right now in the tribulation that we in, Jacob's trouble, in the latter days, he's telling us again that if we hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and shall be obedient unto his voice, which means we shall do what he told us to do. Read on.
Verse 31. For the Lord thy God is a merciful God.
He will forgive us, man. But he only gonna forgive us if we repent and we come back to him in the way that he told us to come back to him. Not the way that we feel, we believe, or we think. Not the way that the Christian pastor told us. Listening to his voice, man. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. Not saying the Old Testament did away with it. Not saying I'm an Old Testament Israelite. Not saying, yeah, I'm only going to do this, or I'm only going to do that. Not saying Paul said, not saying none of that. Hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God and obey. Because obedience is better than sacrifice. I think it's some people who would rather be sacrificed. Because it's people who saying I'm an Old Testament Israelite. Well, where your sacrifices at? Because your damn sure don't want to be obedient. Because the majority of them don't even keep the commandments. That's another story. Read on that.
He would not forsake thee.
He will what?
Not forsake thee.
So this is how we know. It's always been a remnant, and it always will be a remnant. Because for the ones that's seeking the Most High God, unless you prove to me that all Israelites stop seeking the Most High God, which you ain't never going to be able to do that. Because as long as we going through tribulation, it's going to be us that's going to be seeking him. Because we're going to be tired of the mess that we're going through. So he said, he will not forsake thee, read on,
neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he swore unto them.
And we already showed Numbers 23:19 that the Most High God is not a man that he shall lie. If the Most High God said it, man, it is what it is. Read on out.
Verse 32. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as the great thing is, or has been heard like it.
Read on.
Verse 33. Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard, and lived?
So he's asking, had any other nation heard the voice of the Most High God and lived? Or been through the stuff as Israel been through with the Most High God? Or the Most High God dealt with them the way that he dealt with us? It hasn't happened. It has not happened. Because the Lord ain't dealing with the other nations, man. Isaiah 40 and 15. Isaiah 40 and 17. Joel 2 and 27. The Lord ain't dealing with these other nations.
Right.
So it's asking. Read on.
Verse 34. Or has God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation?
Listen here. I hope y'all caught that. The Lord said, or has God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation? See, they can't understand. People can't understand how Esau is a white man, but he came from Isaac, which is a whole other nation. Then he say, behold, two nations I ain't not one. He took a nation from another nation. They can't comprehend that. And not only that, Jacob became a nation. So he took two nations from another nation. They can't get it, man, the power that we dealing with. Read on up.
By temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes.
Read one more.
Verse 35. Unto thee it was shown that thou mightest know that the Lord, he is God. There is none else beside him.
So that gave me a little more meat on the bone. I was just going to go into seeking the Most High God in this tribulation, which was a, man, that wasn't a commandment, but it's telling you what you need to do to get back to the Most High God. That's like, I'm telling you what you need, what you got to do if you want to come back over here. He's not even commanding you of that. He's telling you, if you want to get back in good graces with me, you need to seek me. You need to bring forth that obedience. And that's how he worked, man. Why would anybody deal with somebody that don't want to be in order? I'm not dealing with you not in order. That's what the Most High God said. Y'all don't want to be in order? Then I'm not dealing with y'all, man. I'm not dealing with that mess. I made y'all to be a certain way for me. You don't want to do that? Then I'm not dealing with that mess. And that's just what it is. And I completely agree with the Most High God. So I was going to use that for a law. That's not a law. So I'm going to give you another one. Go to Leviticus. No, Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.
22.
Mm-hmm. We use this to be our law right here. Verse 3. Let's go to verse 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Because there is no other God with the Most High God. He said, don't have no other gods before me. That's one reason why we got in a lot of trouble. Read.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Shalak.
So the Most High God ain't playing no games, man. You hate him, he gonna show you something back. So that's why he telling you, come back to me. Seek me out. Try me and see if I'm real. Show him love and he will love you back. Show him hate and he will give you these curses, man. So, hope our people got a little edification out of that. The Most High has always kept a remnant of his people throughout our generations. So it's not a coincidence that we are back representing Israel, because Israel is a nation. We are a nation of people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, Brazilians, Peruvians, Nicaraguans, our brothers and sisters over in Europe. We still got people in Africa. We got people in the four corners of the earth, man. When he said he was going to scatter us into all countries, he did not play, man. So the Israelite nation is rising up. Kwame Yasharala. So I suggest that our people seek the Most High God, Yahweh, with all their heart and with all their soul to come back to him. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Goodbye.
Sir.